I still remember the sound of her laugh that night, sharp, careless, almost proud. Cut through me like glass. She stood in our kitchen, arms crossed, her expression defiant. "You're being dramatic, Adam," she said, rolling her eyes. "Just because I cheated doesn't mean I have to leave. People work through things." Her words hung there, venom disguised as reason. I stared at her, searching her face for even a flicker of remorse. There was none. Just the same cool detachment I'd seen growing for months. Little moments of distance, half-truths, phone calls she took in the hallway. But hearing her say it out loud, that was something else entirely. I'd found out 2 nights before. It wasn't a cliché lipstick on the collar moment. No, it was quieter, crueler. A late-night ping from her phone left face down on the couch while she showered. A message that flashed across the screen. "Last night was amazing. Same time tomorrow." The name was saved under Laura Work. But I knew instantly it wasn't a woman. The message before that confirmed it. "I miss your skin already." I didn't confront her right away. I sat there, the phone burning in my hand, the world spinning slower and sharper all at once. My stomach twisted with disbelief, my heart pounding so hard I could hear it. I scrolled screenshots, deleted chats, photos, plans made carefully while I worked overtime to pay for her new car. For 2 days I pretended everything was normal. I wanted to see if she'd confess. I watched her move around the house, humming to herself, texting when she thought I wasn't looking. Every smile she gave me felt like a lie, every touch a ghost of what used to be real. And then tonight when I finally asked her, "Are you seeing someone else, Claire?" She didn't even flinch. She just laughed. That laugh broke something in me. We'd been married 8 years. Met in college, both broke, both stubborn. We built everything from nothing. Late-night ramen, thrift store furniture. Dreams that once overlapped. When I got my first real job, she was the one who believed in me. Somewhere along the way we stopped being us. She said I worked too much. I said she stopped caring. We drifted, like 2 people rowing in opposite directions but pretending we were still in the same boat. But even in our worst moments I never thought she'd betray me like that. "You think I should pack up and go because of one mistake?" she said, setting her glass down with a loud clink. "I've seen couples survive worse, Adam. Grow up." "One mistake," I repeated. "You've been seeing him for months." Her face tightened. For the first time she realized I knew more than I should. "You went through my phone?" she snapped. "I went through our phone bill," I said. "You're not even smart enough to hide your tracks." Her jaw clenched. "That's low." I laughed bitterly. "Low? You slept with another man, Claire. You lied to me every day, and you think I crossed a line." She looked away then, her voice quieter but colder. "You make it sound like I planned to hurt you. Just happened. I needed something you stopped giving me." There it was, the final knife. Not just the betrayal but the blame. That night, she went to bed in the guest room. I sat in the living room for hours, staring at the framed photos on the shelf. Our wedding day, her laugh frozen in time, her hand gripping mine like we were unstoppable. I wondered what version of me she saw now. A fool? A burden? 3 a.m. I made my decision. If she wasn't going to leave, I would make sure she had to. For the next week I played along. I smiled, made small talk, even cooked dinner once, the old pasta she used to love. She eyed me cautiously, maybe thinking I'd calm down. But behind the scenes I was already setting things in motion. I met with our landlord, the lease was in my name. I called our bank and moved my savings into a separate account, quietly untying every financial knot that held us together. I found a small apartment downtown, nothing fancy, just mine. Then I called a lawyer. When the papers were ready, I didn't hand them to her right away. I waited until Friday night. She was dressed up, too dressed up, pretending it was a girls' night. I knew she was meeting him. I'd already seen the messages on our shared iCloud account. "Have fun," I said as she grabbed her purse. She froze for a second, studying me. "You're okay." "Better than ever." She smiled, that same careless smile that used to melt me, and walked out the door. While she was gone I packed her things. Not all of them, just enough to make a point. Clothes, toiletries, the jewelry I bought her last anniversary. I put them neatly in 2 suitcases by the front door. On top, I placed the divorce papers and a note. "You were right. People do work through things. But not this. The locks will be changed by morning." Then I turned off the lights and waited. It was after midnight when she came home. The sound of her heels echoed across the floor. Then silence, the kind that vibrates with realization. Adam, she called softly. In here, I said from the couch. She stepped into the living room, her face pale when she saw the suitcases. The papers. What is this? You said you didn't have to leave, I said, standing. But I do. And I'm not coming back. Her mouth opened then closed again. You're overreacting. We can fix this. Fix what? The months you spent lying to me? The man you just came back from seeing. Tears welled in her eyes, maybe guilt, maybe panic. It wasn't like that. Stop. My voice cracked. You don't get to rewrite this. She looked at the note, her lip trembling. You're really doing this? I already did. She stared at me for a long moment, as if trying to summon the man who used to forgive her, who used to make everything okay. But that man was gone. Fine, she whispered finally. You'll regret this. Maybe she meant it as a threat. Maybe she believed I'd miss her so much I'd crawl back. But as I watched her drag those suitcases out the door, I felt something I hadn't felt in months: peace. The next morning the house was quiet. Empty but not hollow. I brewed coffee and sat by the window, watching the sunlight creep across the floorboards. Felt strange, the freedom, the ache, the finality. I checked my phone once, expecting maybe a message from her. There was one. You're heartless. I didn't reply. Instead, I opened a new message, one I'd been too afraid to send for years, to my sister, whom I'd pushed away after Mom's funeral because Claire said she didn't like her energy. Hey, I know it's been a while. I could use some family tonight. She replied instantly. You always have us. Come by. And for the first time in a long time I smiled. Sometimes betrayal doesn't shatter you. It reveals what you've been blind to. I'd spent years thinking love was about endurance, about holding on no matter what. But that night, watching Claire walk away, I realized love also means knowing when to let go. She mocked me for not being strong enough to stay. But walking away, quietly, deliberately, without rage, that was the strongest thing I'd ever done. And as the sun rose on my first morning alone, I whispered to the empty room. You were wrong, Claire. You had your plans, but I had mine. Then I closed the door behind me and never looked back.